Tonight's sleepy quest will take us beyond the familiar borders of the Shire and into the lesser-known corners of Middle-earth. The quiet hills and cozy hobbit holes give way to vast open lands filled with ancient secrets and untold stories. Together, we will uncover the legends that linger in the whispers of the wind and the murmurs of streams that have flowed since the beginning of time. As the world outside settles into slumber, let the soft glow of this tale guide your thoughts toward peace. In the distance, lanterns flicker in the windows of hobbit homes, their warm light a comforting reminder of the familiar, even as we prepare to step into the unknown. This story will be one of quiet wonder, weaving through the rich tapestry of Middle-earth's history and lore. Let this be your time to unwind, to explore, and to dream. Welcome to a story that promises to be both soothing and enchanting as we uncover the hidden legends of Middle-earth. Before we venture further into the quiet, mystical corners of Middle-earth, I would like to know, where are you tuning in from and what time it is for you? If you find peace and joy in these gentle tales of ancient lands and timeless legends, please share your support by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and leaving a thoughtful comment. Together, we will walk softly through Middle-earth's enchanted landscapes, uncovering tales that linger in the shadows and the light. So, settle in, my sleepy quest's fellows, and let the rhythm of the story carry you gently into a world of dreams and wonders. The Shire, a land of rolling green hills, soft golden light, and peaceful simplicity, is where our tale begins. It is a place where time seems to move more slowly, where the hum of daily life is as gentle as the rustling leaves in the breeze. Tonight, we are drawn to one particular corner of the Shire, where a small hobbit hole sits nestled under the roots of an old oak tree, its round door painted a cheerful shade of green. Inside this cozy dwelling lives our central character, a hobbit named Larin Proudfoot. Larin is not like most hobbits, though he loves his tea, his garden, and his evenings spent by the fire. There is a quiet curiosity within him, a desire to uncover the secrets that others overlook. With his sharp, twinkling eyes and a habit of jotting down notes in his leather-bound journal, he is known among his neighbors as the Hobbit with the wandering mind. It is said that Larin often takes long walks after sunset, disappearing into the quiet night and returning just before dawn, his eyes alight with the spark of discovery. The other hobbits whisper about him, their voices hushed and curious. What does Larin find out there in the dark? They wonder. What mysteries does he seek under the stars? The Shire, though familiar and comforting, holds its own share of quiet mysteries. Paths that twist and turn unexpectedly, groves of trees that seem older than the hills themselves, and whispers of tales long forgotten by time. Larin's steps often lead him to these places, guided by a sense of wonder and a belief that even the smallest corners of the world can hold the greatest secrets. As twilight deepens and the stars begin to scatter across the sky, Larin Proudfoot takes his first steps beyond the familiar borders of the Shire. The soft glow of his lantern lights the way as he follows a narrow, winding path that meanders through the gentle hills. Tonight feels different. There's a subtle energy in the air, as if the world is holding its breath, waiting for something to be discovered. The trail leads him past a quiet brook, its waters whispering secrets to the reeds as they sway in the cool evening breeze. Larin pauses, crouching down to observe the delicate silver fish darting just beneath the surface. Their movements seem almost deliberate, like tiny dancers performing for the moon. He sketches them quickly in his journal, his hand moving with practice ease. As he continues, the path grows less distinct, the well-trodden earth giving way to soft moss that cushions his steps. The lantern casts a warm, flickering glow, illuminating gnarled roots and wild flowers that seem to nod gently in greeting. The sounds of the Shire's familiar night, chirping crickets and distant owl calls, fade into a softer, deeper quiet. Larin's heart beats steadily, his curiosity leading him onward. Ahead, the forest looms, its trees tall and ancient, their branches forming an intricate canopy that filters the moonlight into delicate patterns on the ground. The forest has always been a place of mystery to the hobbits, a realm they approach with equal parts reverence and caution. But Larin feels no fear, only a quiet determination to uncover the secrets hidden within its depths. As he steps beneath the trees, the air changes, growing cooler and carrying a faint, otherworldly fragrance, something like lavender and wood smoke, but tinged with a sweetness he can't quite place. He stops to admire the intricate knots of ivy climbing the trunks and the faint glimmer of dew on the leaves. In this moment, the forest feels alive, as though it's watching him, curious about this small figure with a lantern and a notebook. Larin's footsteps bring him to a clearing where the light of the moon spills over the grass like liquid silver. At the center of the clearing stands a great stone, weathered and cracked, its surface etched with markings that seem older than the hills themselves. He approaches slowly, his lantern held high, the warm light revealing intricate runes carved into the surface. Though he cannot read them, he feels their significance. These are words of power, of history, perhaps even of a forgotten legend. As he examines the stone, a soft sound catches his attention, a faint hum, like the echo of a distant melody. Larin turns. his lantern casting its glow over the trees. But the source of the sound remains elusive. It's not alarming, but rather soothing, as if the forest itself is singing to him, urging him to listen. He closes his eyes for a moment, letting the sound wash over him, and feels a connection to something vast and timeless. The hum fades, leaving only the stillness of the night. Larin opens his eyes and jots a note in his journal. The forest sings, but only to those who listen. He smiles softly to himself, the mystery deepening with every step he takes. As the night wears on, Larin's journey leads him to a grove where the trees form a natural archway, their branches entwined as though protecting something sacred. Beyond the archway, he finds a small pool of water, its surface so still it mirrors the sky perfectly. Kneeling by the edge, he gazes at his reflection, illuminated by the soft glow of his lantern. But in the water, he notices something strange, a faint shimmer, like light catching on the edge of a hidden doorway. Reaching out, his fingers touch the water's surface, sending ripples across the reflection. The shimmer fades, but the sense of mystery remains. Larin sits back, taking a deep breath and allowing the peaceful rhythm of the forest to calm his racing thoughts. There is magic here, he realizes, but it is quiet and gentle, revealing itself only to those with the patience to see. As he prepares to move on, a faint rustle in the bushes catches his ear. He freezes, his lantern casting long shadows across the grove. For a moment, he wonders if he's not alone. But the sound is gentle, unthreatening, and as he watches, a small, luminous figure emerges from the underbrush. A creature of the forest, its form shimmering faintly in the lantern light. It regards him with wide, curious eyes before vanishing as quickly as it appeared, leaving Larin with a sense of awe. The night is still young, and the forest holds more secrets, but Larin knows this is a journey of patience and wonder. With each step, he feels the layers of the Shire peel away, revealing the rich tapestry of Middle-earth's hidden beauty and magic. The mystery deepens, drawing him further into its embrace, as the quiet hum of the forest begins to guide him once more. Larin's lantern flickered softly as he ventured deeper into the heart of the forest, its golden glow barely reaching the towering trees that surrounded him. The soft hum he had heard earlier seemed to grow louder, more distinct, carrying with it a melody both haunting and beautiful. It was as if the forest itself were alive, singing a song that resonated with the very earth beneath his feet. The path before him twisted and turned, the moss-covered ground damp with dew. His steps slowed as he reached a clearing, bathed in the silvery light of the moon. At the center stood a figure, shrouded in a faint luminescence. Larin's breath caught as he realized it wasn't a creature of the forest, but a statue, tall and elegant, carved from pale stone that seemed to drink in the moonlight. The statue depicted an elf cloaked and regal, with one hand outstretched as if offering something unseen. Around its base, the ground was scattered with delicate flowers, their petals shimmering like tiny stars. Larin stepped closer, his heart beating steadily, but with a quiet reverence. The air around the statue felt different, charged with a strange energy that sent a shiver down his spine. As he examined the statue, Larin noticed an inscription carved into the stone. The runes were unfamiliar, yet as his fingers traced the lines, he felt an understanding blossom within him, as if the words were whispering their meaning directly into his mind. To those who seek, the light of truth shall guide. He turned his gaze to the statue's outstretched hand, and there, resting in its palm, was a small, glowing crystal. Its light was faint but steady, pulsating softly like a heartbeat. Larin hesitated for a moment, then reached out, his hand trembling slightly. The moment his fingers brushed against the crystal, a warmth spread through him, filling him with a sense of calm and belonging. Suddenly, the forest seemed to shift around him. The shadows grew deeper, and the hum transformed into a series of whispered voices. They weren't frightening, but they carried an urgency, as though urging him to understand something just beyond his grasp. Holding the crystal tightly, Larin closed his eyes and allowed the voices to guide him. Images began to form in his mind. Flashes of ancient days when the world was young and the Shire was but a distant dream. He saw elves walking beneath the light of the two trees, their faces serene and filled with purpose. He glimpsed rivers that shimmered like liquid silver and mountains that glowed with an inner fire. And he saw a great council where beings of immense wisdom and power gathered to speak of a coming shadow. One voice stood out among the whispers, clear and commanding, yet filled with compassion. It spoke directly to Larin, calling him by name. The light you hold is a fragment of our past, a memory of what was. Carry it with care, for it will guide you through the darkness to come. When he opened his eyes, the forest was still, the hum and whispers fading into the quiet rustle of leaves. The crystal in his hand glowed brighter now, its light illuminating a hidden ambiance that had not been visible before. Larin felt a mixture of wonder and resolve. Whatever lay ahead, the crystal was not just a trinket. It was a key, a connection to something far greater than himself. As he followed the newly revealed path, the sense of being watched returned, but it no longer felt ominous. Instead, it was as though the forest itself was guiding him, each step bringing him closer to a truth long hidden. The crystal's light reflected off the surrounding trees, casting intricate patterns that seemed almost like messages, though their meaning eluded him. He paused to make notes in his journal, his thoughts spilling onto the pages in a flurry of sketches and descriptions. The statue, the voices, the crystal, they were pieces of a puzzle he was determined to solve. Yet, despite the questions swirling in his mind, he felt no fear. The forest's gentle rhythm had become a part of him, its mysteries no longer daunting, but inviting. As the path led him toward a distant glow, Larin couldn't help but smile softly to himself. He had set out to uncover the hidden stories of Middle-earth, and now he carried a piece of its history in his hands. The crystal's warmth was a reminder that even in the deepest shadows, light could be found, waiting patiently for someone brave enough to seek it. The faint glow of the crystal illuminated the path before Larin as he ventured deeper into the hidden forest. The trees grew taller and older, their massive trunks cloaked in moss and their leaves whispering secrets in the soft breeze. The air was thick with the scent of earth and blooming flowers, a reminder of the ancient life thriving around him. The light of the crystal pulsed gently, guiding him forward like a steady heartbeat. As he walked, Larin began to notice subtle changes in the forest. The rustling of leaves carried a melody, faint yet mesmerizing, as if the forest itself were humming an ancient tune. Shapes and figures seemed to shift at the edges of his vision, but when he turned to look, there was nothing there. It was a strange sensation, not fear, but a sense of being observed, of the forest itself acknowledging his presence. The path led him to a serene glade, where a narrow stream wound its way through smooth stones and lush greenery. Here, the crystal's light grew brighter, and Larin paused to take in the scene. As he knelt by the stream to refill his flask, a soft voice broke the stillness. "You carry the light of truth." Startled, Larin looked up to see an elf standing across the stream. Tall and graceful, with silver hair that shimmered like moonlight, the elf had an aura of quiet wisdom. Their eyes were kind but piercing, as though they could see the very thoughts in Larin's mind. "I am Elenvar," the elf said, their voice like the gentle rustle of leaves. "This forest is my home, and it has been many years since a traveler passed through carrying such a light. What brings you here?" Larin explained his journey, the mysterious statue, and the crystal he had found. Elenvar listened intently, nodding as Larin spoke. When he finished, the elf stepped closer, their gaze fixed on the crystal in his hand. "That light is a shard of the trees of Valinor," Elenvar said softly. "Long ago, when the two trees still bathed our world in their radiance, fragments of their essence were carried far and wide, hidden in places where they might be found by those who seek wisdom and light. You have been chosen, Larin, to uncover their story and carry their memory forward. Elenvar motioned for Larin to follow, leading him deeper into the forest. As they walked, the elf shared tales of the two trees, Telperion and Laurelin, their golden and silver light, and the age of peace they brought to the world. They spoke of how their destruction marked the rise of darkness, but fragments of their light endured, hidden in secret places. The forest gave way to a vast clearing where ancient stones formed a circle around a single towering tree. Its branches were adorned with glowing orbs, their light casting intricate patterns on the forest floor. Elenvar paused, their expression reverent. "This is the tree of memory," they said. "It carries the echoes of those who walked in the light of Valinor. Place your crystal here, and it will show you the stories it holds." Larin hesitated, then stepped forward. He placed the crystal on a pedestal at the tree's base, and immediately the clearing was bathed in a soft, golden glow. Images began to form in the air, scenes of elves walking beneath the trees of Valinor, their faces serene and filled with purpose. He saw mighty halls gleaming in the light, rivers flowing with silver and gold, and the laughter of beings long gone. Elenvar's voice cut through the vision, calm and steady. "These are the memories of the light you carry. They are a gift and a guide. But remember, with knowledge comes responsibility. What you have seen is not just a story. It is a call to preserve what remains of the light in this world." As the images faded, the crystal's light grew even brighter, as if strengthened by the connection to the tree. Larin felt a sense of awe and humility. He turned to Elenvar, who was watching him with a faint smile. "Your journey is not over, Larin," the elf said. "There is more to learn and more light to carry. Beyond this forest lies a path to Valimar, where the wisdom of the Valar awaits. But the choice is yours. Will you continue, or will you carry this light back to your home?" Larin didn't hesitate. "I will continue." Elenvar nodded approvingly. "Then take this with you." They handed him a small vial filled with liquid starlight, its glow matching the crystals. "This will guide you when the path grows dark. Trust in the light, and it will never fail you." With that, Elenvar turned and disappeared into the forest, leaving Larin alone in the clearing. He retrieved the crystal and the vial, tucking them safely into his pack. The path ahead seemed clearer now, illuminated by a light that felt as much a part of him as the air he breathed. As he left the clearing, Larin felt a renewed sense of purpose. The stories of the two trees, the light of Valinor, and the journey ahead were no longer just tales. They were his responsibility. And as the forest whispered its farewell, he knew that he was not alone. The light he carried would guide him, just as it had guided so many before him. As Larin emerged from the dense forest, the path before him opened to a wide, golden plain, shimmering under a twilight sky. In the distance stood the radiant gates of Valinor, gleaming like a beacon. The sight filled him with awe, the weight of his journey pressing on him like a gentle reminder of the responsibility he carried. This was the moment he had been preparing for, the time to understand the crystal's full purpose and to ensure its light endured. The road to Valinor was quiet, lined with flowering trees whose blossoms seemed to glow softly in the fading light. Each step brought a sense of peace and anticipation, as though the land itself was encouraging him onward. At last, he stood before the gates, their intricate carvings telling stories of ages past, the creation of the two trees, the shaping of Arda, and the arrival of the Valar. As he approached, the gates opened silently, revealing a vast courtyard bathed in a golden glow. At its center stood Manwë, the Elder King, his presence regal and serene. Beside him stood Varda, her eyes like the stars she had kindled. Around them, other Valar gathered, their forms radiant with an otherworldly light. Larin bowed deeply, the crystal clutched tightly in his hand. Manwë's voice was gentle yet commanding, resonating like a song carried on the wind. Welcome, Larin of the Shire. You have journeyed far and shown great courage to stand here. Tell us, what have you learned? Taking a steadying breath, Larin recounted his journey, the discovery of the crystal, the guidance of Alanvar, and the memories of the two trees revealed to him. As he spoke, the crystal began to glow brighter, its light filling the courtyard with a soft, golden hue. When he finished, Varda stepped forward, her voice like the melody of distant stars. The light you carry is a fragment of Telperion and Laurelin, a treasure of the Blessed Realm. It holds the memory of a time when peace and unity graced all of Arda. But that light is fading, and its power must be renewed if it is to guide future generations. Manwë gestured to a pedestal at the heart of the courtyard. Place the crystal here, and let its light join with the essence of the two trees. Only then can its strength be restored. Larin stepped forward, his heart pounding with a mix of fear and determination. He placed the crystal on the pedestal, and immediately the air around him shifted. A radiant beam of silver and gold light burst from the crystal, rising into the sky like a beacon. The courtyard was awash in brilliance, and for a moment it felt as though time itself had paused. As the light reached its zenith, a gentle hum filled the air, resonating with a deep, soothing rhythm. Larin closed his eyes, feeling the warmth of the light envelop him. Images flashed through his mind, scenes of Middle-earth's beauty, of laughter and music, of hope rekindled in the face of darkness. When he opened his eyes, the light had dimmed, and the crystal now glowed with a steady, renewed radiance. The Valar watched in quiet approval, their expressions serene. "You have done well, Larin," Manwë said, his voice carrying a note of warmth. "The light you carry will now shine for generations to come, a reminder of what was and what can be. It is a beacon of hope, a guide for those who seek the path of unity and peace." Varda handed Larin a small, intricately crafted pendant, its center holding a tiny shard of the crystal's light. "Take this with you," she said. "Let it remind you of your journey and the light you now carry within. It is not just the crystal that has been renewed, but also your spirit." As Larin accepted the pendant, a sense of calm and fulfillment washed over him. The journey that had begun with curiosity and uncertainty had brought him to the heart of Valinor, where he had discovered the true power of light and hope. With a bow of gratitude, Larin turned to leave, the crystal safely secured in his pack and the pendant resting against his heart. The path back through the gates seemed brighter now, the golden plain stretching before him like an invitation to carry the light home. As he walked, the memory of the Valar's words echoed in his mind. The light was not only a gift, but a responsibility, a promise to share its warmth and guidance with others. And as the first stars appeared in the twilight sky, Larin knew that the journey was far from over. He was a keeper of the light, and Middle-earth awaited his return. The journey back to the Shire was marked by tranquility and introspection. Larin walked the familiar paths with a renewed sense of purpose, the light of the pendant softly glowing against his chest. The road stretched before him, winding through the rolling hills and quiet forests of Middle-earth, now bathed in the gentle light of dawn. As he crossed the borders of the Shire, the familiar sights and sounds greeted him like an old friend. The soft rustling of leaves in the breeze, the distant laughter of children playing, and the warm scent of earth and blooming flowers brought a sense of peace that only home could provide. The weight of his journey seemed to lift, replaced by a profound stillness in his heart. In the days that followed, Larin often sat beneath the great oak near his Hobbit hole, sharing his story with those who cared to listen. He spoke of the crystal's light, the wisdom of Alanvar, and the radiant beauty of Valinor. His words carried the rhythm of a lullaby, soothing and inspiring those who heard them. But it was not just his tale that left an impression. It was the light itself. The tiny shard within the pendant seemed to hold the warmth of a summer morning, the calm of a starlit night, and the hope of a new dawn. Neighbors and travelers alike would pause to admire it, their faces softening with wonder. In its glow, they found comfort and a reminder that even in the darkest moments, light could endure. As the seasons changed, Larin's tale became woven into the fabric of the Shire. Around hearths and at gatherings, his journey was retold, each version imbued with the quiet magic of his discovery. The pendant's light became a symbol of resilience, inspiring others to seek the light within themselves and share it with the world around them. On quiet evenings, Larin would sit alone under the stars, the pendant resting in his hands. He would gaze up at the constellations, feeling the presence of Valinor in the distant glow of the heavens. The memory of the two trees, their golden and silver light mingling in harmony, remained vivid in his mind. It was a reminder of the beauty that could be created through unity and hope. And now, dear listener, as this tale draws to a close, let its warmth linger softly in your heart. Like the gentle glow of Larin's pendant, may this story guide you toward peace and calm. Imagine yourself walking through the Shire's quiet paths, the soft hum of the earth beneath your feet, and the whispers of the trees carrying you gently into rest. Close your eyes and let the story's rhythm carry you into the embrace of sleep. The light of Valinor shines on, a quiet reminder that even the smallest steps can lead to the brightest of journeys. Rest well, my sleepy traveler, and may your dreams be filled with light, wonder, and the boundless beauty of Middle-earth. Good night, and may your spirit find peace among the stars.